Welcome to the Arrethtrae board game gameplay instructional video. For a more in-depth look at how to set up the game and what some of the cards are, please refer to our website. We have an instructional video there. This video is more to show some of the nuances of gameplay and what a knight might encounter in some of the rounds, to answer some of those more nuanced questions in unique situations. Alright, so as you can see, we have already rolled our die to see where each character is going to begin, right? So Dalton here rolled a 2, so he starts on piece number 2. So, first off in our roundup here is Sir Leonard. So, Sir Leonard, where usually a character will start in the territory that he begins in.
Right, and so there's Sir Leonard, and since he's already in a territory that is controlled by Shadow Warrior, we're just going to draw a battle card because I don't want to travel anywhere else. So we'll draw that first battle card. It is a 2 Shadow Warrior territory, so we will put 2 Shadow Warriors on there to represent that, and then place the card face up underneath the battle deck. Now, Leonard has a health of 10, and so we're going to manage that health as we go to battle. Every roll of the die is 1 battle. So first I'm going to roll and see if I can take out one of those Shadow Warriors. In this case, the battle rating that I have is 4. There are no extra resources or anything like that, so you start out with a 4. It's an 8-sided die, so you get a 50-50 chance of winning without any extra involvement in calculating that battle rating. With a 7, I actually lose that battle, so my health goes from a 10 to a 9. I'll roll again. In that case, I got a 4, so I defeated 1 Shadow Warrior. Go again. And there's an 8. I lost that battle, so my health is now down to 8. There's a 5. My health is down to 7.
Move, Selena. Come on.
And there's a 2. Yay, victory. So in that case, I defeated the 2 Shadow Warriors. Leonard now has defeated that territory, and it becomes a haven. So you flip the disc over, it becomes a haven. Now that is the end of my turn. Every character gets the chance to take over 1 territory per turn. The end of that turn ends with drawing a resource card. So Leonard gets...
You have defeated
correct. If you actually defeat the Shadow Warriors and recover that territory to a haven, you get to draw a resource card. If you do not, then you don't draw the resource card. In this case, Sir Leonard drew a horse, and it says on here, increase travel to 2 territories per turn. Normally, a knight can only travel 1 connecting territory, but with the horse, next turn I could go 2 territories if I choose. I can still go 1 or 2 now. So that's his resource. Now, there are only 3 of us playing, but there are still 6 knights on the board. There will always be 6 knights on the board, whether you're playing with 6 knights or 6 people, 5, or all the way down to 1 person. 1 person can still play the game as long as he runs all 6 knights, and it's still just as fun. So now I'm controlling both Leonard and Lady Tess, so it is now Tess's turn, and Tess is over there with Cedric. Now here's a good chance to talk about an increase in battle rating. So she is going to stay in that territory and fight, but you'll notice that Cedric also landed on that in his beginning roll. So there are 2 knights in the same territory. For every knight that joins the battle, your battle rating goes up by 1. So normally she would have a battle rating of 4 like Sir Leonard, but now that Cedric's in there with an additional knight, her battle rating is 5. So she draws a battle card. She gets a Shadow Warrior and 1 creature. So that's not fun. We'll put that 1 Shadow Warrior there. And now she also has to draw a creature card. And it's a bad one. It is the Dragomoth.
Yay!
So, now the way the creature cards work is they also have health as well. The Dragomoth has 5 health, and so she has to defeat that Dragomoth 5 times before she can even begin to fight that Shadow Warrior. So now what we also need is a stand to put the creature on. So we will slip that right here. I'll also take just a minute to explain the 2 weapons that are required down there to fight the Dragomoth. The Dragomoth, just as in the books, they used a shield and the sword. And so if the knight fighting that Dragomoth does not have either one of those, you lose 1 battle rating for every weapon you do not have. So, in order to calculate her battle rating, she started out with a 4 by herself, but Cedric is there, so it went up to 5. She does not have the shield, so now it goes back down to a 4, and she does not have the sword, so it goes down to a 3. Her battle rating is now a 3 against this fight. This is a pretty difficult situation to win. So, I don't, with odds of 3 there, with a battle rating of 3, her chances of defeating that are not very good. She would probably run out of health. So what we're going to do here is Tess is going to elect to not fight until she has some other weapons like the shield or the sword or something else to increase her battle rating. Otherwise, she might actually diminish her health down too far at the beginning of the game and not be helpful for the rest of the game. So Tess is going to not fight, and she will move to a different territory on her next turn. But when you choose not to fight or when you retreat, you actually lose a health. So her health goes down to a 9. And that is the end of her turn. Since she didn't recover a territory, she doesn't get to draw a resource card. And it goes on now to Sir Dalton.
All right. So Sir Dalton is down here, and there's nothing particularly, he hasn't started yet, so we're just going to, I'm going to move this one back under here.
Okay.
Alright, so he draws 3 Shadow Warriors. Put 3 on there, please. Thank you. Now you can choose to roll. So since I have 3 Shadow Warriors, I could choose to do all 3 dice at once, signifying 1 dice for each battle with a Shadow Warrior. It tends to make the game move a little bit faster. Okay, so I have won 2 of those, since it's 4 and under, and I lose 1. And now I only roll 1 because I have 1 Shadow Warrior.
And your battle rating is a 4 because there's
yes,
no changes.
because there's no special changes or anything. Well, that I came out fairly unscathed with that. I'm pretty pleased. Alright, so we've got our Haven. We've got our resource. Ooh. Alright, encounter followers of the prince. I'll move that so it's upside right. Use immediately. Add 2 health units. Then discard. Right, so I go from a 9 up to an 11, which is fantastic. And then immediately discard. Awesome. Okay, so he did great. And Lady Carlis is all the way up here by her lonesome self. Let's see what she gets. She gets 2. And once again, I will only roll 2 dice this time to signify 1 battle with each Shadow Warrior. Oh, and she lost both of those. Now, something to note. Okay, right now we're all pretty high in health, but as you get lower, sometimes it's a little bit better not to roll all of them at once, simply because you could die without having the chance to run away. So keep that in mind. All right, we won 1, lost 1 more. Come on, Carlos, you got 1 more. There we go. All right, now Carlos turns that into a Haven, and she gets a bow. That's fitting. All right, so she now has a bow as a resource to use against a creature if needed. All right, Cedric, you're up.
All right, so yeah, it's Cedric's turn. He's grouped in there with Tess, but he also does not want to fight that creature, so he's going to go ahead and move to this other territory and draw a battle card for that territory. And he gets 3 Shadow Warriors. I'm going to roll 3 as well. So lost 2.
It's a 5, 2, and a 7.
And I defeated 1 of those. Rolled a 6 and a 2. So I lost 1 and defeated 1 more. Yes, lost 1 health.
Ooh.
Rolled an 8. Lose 1 health.
Down to 6.
Come on, Cedric. 4.
There we
we
go.
go. Alright, so I defeated the Shadow Warriors in that territory. It becomes a haven. And I get to draw a resource. Okay, so Cedric got Encounter the Prince. This increases the battle rating by 2 for Cedric's next turn, and I add 2 health. It is non-transferable, can't pass this to any surrounding knights. So I'm going to go ahead and increase my health by 2 right now, and then next turn, my battle rating will increase by 2. So, alright, now it's Talia's turn. Where's Talia? Over there on 5. So she's going to draw a battle card. It's 4 Shadow Warriors.
Ooh.
That's going to be a little tough.
Lost 2 and beat 1. It is important to manage the health pretty early on in the game. If you get too low, you end up actually becoming non-effective for a good portion of the game. There you go.
There. Took out all remaining.
Her battle rating was a 4, and she rolled a 1, 2, and a 4, so she defeated all 3. That was a great roll.
One fell swoop.
Yep.
Alright, the resource for Talia is the Castellite Medallion.
Yay!
This one is really good to get early on because at the beginning of each turn hereafter, you can reveal the Shadow Warriors in the adjoining territories.
By drawing the battle cards.
By drawing the battle cards.
But you don't have to fight them. It just lets you know how many Shadow Warriors are there. You place the Shadow Warriors, and we'll show you that on the next round then. And that way it allows you to strategize and possibly discover strongholds, and it lets the other knights know how to move to best handle those territories. Very useful. It also is a good thing to point out here that if a knight's health does get too low, like let's say Leonard fought and got down to a 3 and is not really effective in fighting anymore, he can pass on his turn, and if he stays in a place that has a haven, his battle or his health would go up 2. If he were to travel from one haven and say this was a haven to another haven, his battle rating would go up by 1. So if you travel, you can increase your health by 1. If you don't, you can increase it by 2. That allows a knight to get back into the game after a round or 2 of skipping. So, all right, so that was the end of Talia's turn. And in that case, all the knights took a turn. So the prince in his ship moves 1 space. And you have to remember to do that, because if you miss that, it really changes the dynamics. And the when the prince lands on the space that says end, game's over. So, all right. And as mentioned earlier, the instructional video, basically, in the instruction video, basically you want to make sure that you're recovering enough territories in each round so you can have a chance of getting all 30 territories recovered by the time the prince arrives. Now it is Sir Leonard's turn again, and we find him down here in Chessington. And this is a great place. As a team, we start now talking about where should we go, where should we move. What do you guys recommend for Sir Leonard? We got a couple of knights over here to take care of the eastern side of Arrethtrae. Perhaps Leonard should go maybe south and west. What do you think, or north?
I agree.
That way?
Definitely, I think Talia and Dalton and Tess can kind of all move up.
Okay.
That way Cedric and Leonard can kind of get that southern part.
Kind of looks like Carlos is going to have a hard time with all that territory, so we'll have to either move one of these guys up here or Talia can come around, because that's a lot of territory for her.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we draw strongholds, that really changes everything, and you have to re-strategize again. So there's a lot of things that can change how your gameplay goes. Mm-hmm. So we're going to just move Leonard over here into the Daedalon country. And since the Dragon Moth's over there, he won't have to fight that.
Lucky him.
All right, so here comes his battle card. And it is 2 Shadow Warriors, which makes Leonard pretty happy. How about that? He's going to roll. We'll roll both die. Let's see how he does. He gets a 1 and a 6. His battle rating still is a 4, by the way. Nothing changed. He didn't get any resources to increase that. There's no creatures to fight. So the 1 defeats 1 Shadow Warrior. The 6 takes away 1 of his health. I'll move that down. He's now at a health of 6. So he's got 1 more to defeat. All right. He gets a 5, so he loses another health. That's not so good. Oh my goodness, he's down to a 4. Try this one more time. There we go. We finally got that one. So he defeated the last Shadow Warrior. That becomes a Haven. So Selena draws his resource, and it is Spirit. If you remember from Lady Carla, Spirit was able to carry the Swamp Lily to save Sir Dalton. And that is essentially what Spirit does in the game here too. It says, can carry Dagger, Water, Swamp Lily, Life Space, Short Sword, or Castlelight Medallion to any knight of the Prince. And then Spirit stays with the knight that receives that item. And so both the item and Spirit goes to that particular person.
So, I mean,
Very
just
helpful.
like physics says, no, Spirit cannot carry the horse
No.
to someone else.
No, not the horse.
As hard as you want.
Or a silent warrior.
Right,
That would look a little weird.
Not how that works.
The other thing to remember is once you draw the resource card, your turn is over. So Spirit cannot be used until the next round. And that goes for all the resources. That's the end of Serlena's turn. Now it is Lady Tess. And she is over here. And remember, she reduced her health because she didn't want to fight. So she's going to move now. And we'll have her go north.
She should actually head that direction.
Should she go this way?
I think so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very good plan. All right, so we're going to go into the Kiwick area, and she's going to draw a battle card for that one. And she gets a Stronghold. Boy, she is drawing the tough ones. Now, a Stronghold is a difficult card because it represents that there are 10 Shadow Warriors and a creature. Now, the larger pieces represent 10 of the Shadow Warriors, so we're just going to put that on there to make things look cleaner on the board. And then also she has to draw a creature card, and the creature is the Fire Asp. Not too bad. It requires the antidote to defeat, and it has a health of 2. Not too horrible, but still, if Tess were to take that on, she would probably die because her health, her battle rating would be a 3 against a creature and 10 Shadow Warriors. So not good. So she is not going to fight again. She's going to reduce her health by 1 and hopefully get some help.
At this point, she could retreat to a haven if we wanted.
Yep, she could stay there or retreat. Either way, her health has to go down by 1.
Right.
Right.
But
Do you think she should?
I think she should stay there.
Right, because Cedric is right here, and
Okay.
he has Encounter the Prince, which will raise his battle rating by 2. So together, the two of them should be able to take down that
I
stronghold.
think so.
All right, let's do that. Let's give it a shot. It might be a little
Might be
difficult,
risky,
but let's give it a shot. If we could take a stronghold out early in the game, that would be huge.
Especially
for
since
us.
this isn't like a major stronghold.
Right.
It's not like
Yeah.
our massive
It's not the
25
big one, right?
Yep.
where we need like 3 knights
Yeah.
to take it down. I think they should be able to handle that.
Sounds good. We'll give it a shot. All right, and Sir Dalton is up.
Alright, so Sir Dalton we said should move kind of north, right? So maybe he should move over here just in case he's also
Certainly.
needed to jump in
It's possible.
on that. Who knows? Alright, so he gets 2
Okay.
Shadow Warriors, a health of 11. We should be able to easily take that out.
5 and a 1.
Okay, so we win 1 and we lose 1. Back down to starting health of 10.
Very good.
4. Awesome. Alright. He gets the glider. Awesome. So the glider can only be used once, okay? But you can travel to any territory in the game once, okay? So if Carlos gets in trouble up here, right, Dalton can jump over all of these and go and help Lady Carlos if necessary.
And once it's used, it's discarded.
Exactly. Now, when you go, you carry all of your resources with you, except it cannot carry the Penthemoth, the horse, or the Silent Warrior. Just keep that in mind. All right. Now it is Lady Carlos's turn. What do you
It
think,
might not
guys?
hurt at this point also to just mention there are two places on the board that basically you can transport from one territory across the water via ship. It's like traveling one space on board here. So if a knight was here and you wanted to move up here, that would just be a 1-turn move.
Right.
Okay. So.
All right. So what do you think, guys? Should Carlos try to get these little ones?
Should
she try to move like this way?
Yeah,
or this way, because
I think I would go up in that corner,
I
because
agree.
once you leave that area, it's tough
it's really hard to
up
get
there.
back. You're right.
Yep.
All right, so she's gonna go up to this one. All right. So
One
she
Shadow
gets
Warrior.
one Shadow Warrior. She gets one creature. Now she gets the Death Raven. And oh, thank you for the stand.
Mhm.
Which actually isn't too bad because Lady Carlos has the bow, which can be used in combat for the Death Raven. So that doesn't necessarily add, but it doesn't detract. Like normally she would have -1 in her battle rating, but because she has the bow to specifically fight the Death Raven, that now does not happen.
So her battle rating stays as a 4.
Right.
Okay.
So her battle rating stays as a 4. So first we have to fight the Battle Raven 2 times.
Wonderful.
That was great. So Death Raven is now taken care of. Can I just hand those to you?
Mhm.
Thank you. All right, now we just have one Shadow Warrior. Oh. Lady, oops, she's down to a 6. Down to a 6. There we go. Okay. And she now gets Life Spice. Awesome. So Life Spice, just like in the books, can add health, right? So I can add 5 health units. This one adds 5. Different cards give different values of Life Spice, so be sure you read the card. So this one gives 5, so I can add 5.
But you also do not have to use it at this time. So if, and it can also be transferred to other knights. This is a good place to talk about sharing resources.
It is.
So let's say that, let's say for example, she didn't use it and she wanted to just save it. She could carry it, so when her health either gets really low, she thinks, okay, now I need to use it, she can use it. Or if she were fighting with another knight against a stronghold and that other knight was actually doing the battle and his or her health got low, Carlos could give her life spice to that knight and then he could use it, he or she could use it, and that way
So
they
if
could
2 knights are on the same territory, they can share resources.
Yep.
Yeah, and when the only way that you can do that is if you share that territory. You have to decide once you split up who those resources are going with. But it is very valuable to pass those resources along. For example, if Lady Talia has a Castlight Medallion and she's in the same territory as another knight who's going to a region of the kingdom where there's still a lot of unsolved territories or unbeaten territories, she would probably want to give that Castlight Medallion so that other knight could spy out those territories ahead of time. So.
Also, kind of talking about health a little bit here. Everyone's looking pretty good on health except for Sir Leonard down here. So just a reminder of every person has a King Reigns and his son card. So if a knight is in a battle and let's say they don't have a very high battle rating and it's not going well, their health is getting low, at any point in the game, a knight can use the King Reigns and his son. This is only usable once, and that is where a character shouts out, the King Reigns.
And all the other knights say, and
his son. All right, so that would automatically give me a battle rating of